people, welcome home everyone, and today, as I was telling you in the last video, we are going to check everything about this gameplay reveal out. We're gonna take a look at basically everything Riot showed us and most importantly, analyze it. But analyze it super deeply. We are going to touch all these points as I'm showing you here. We are seeing the alpha dates, the tentative changes and the tentative dates for the beta, champions and changes, targeting and interface, clients, modes, rank, skins, how is champ select going to be. In this order, we are checking everything out. So first of all, let's start with the champions and taking a look at a brief description for each of them. Starting with this one, Ari, not this guy, this girl. Ari, she is a mage that can charm you as has a good mobility with her ultimate. Then Master Yi is just basic attack and destroy the enemy. In late game, Lux can CC, crowd control, stun, root the enemy and also slow it and fire a super laser beam dealing lots of damage. Annie can stand in an area with her spells if she uses them appropriately and can summon this big bear. Tiber, Garen is an easy to play breezer that can give you very good results, mainly beginning with the game is good. For starters, Fiora is more difficult, a duelist, but is super fun to play well. Dee can smash your face and go and catch one enemy with her ultimate. Then we have Blitzcrank that literally grabs you with the hand. Camille can isolate you in a 1v1 and also appear from unexpected places with her E, with her hook. Then we have Jin, is super unique. This champion is love him or hate him, but if you like him, you are going to fall in love with him. It's a very well designed champion. Ezreal can poke, can deal damage safely from a distance, and also have quite good mobility with his E. Janna, shield your team and also has crowd control with a tornado, her ultimate that also can heal, is a goddess of the wind. Soraka is the best healer in the game, the healer per excellence. Then Nami heals not so much as Soraka, but has more tools to crowd control her enemies. Then Nexus can stack his Q, empowering his basic attacks, so as the game progresses, he is going to be more and more lethal. Brown can put a big shield in front of him and also wrap to the ground and create crowd control, as well as with his passive, creating some opportunities for crowd control against the enemies. Miss Fortune, the pirate, can shoot a lot of bullets with her ultimate and is a good mix between an AD carry of basic attacks and an AD carry of abilities. Graves is mainly a jungler with lots of damage. Jinx scales and has two weapons, the rocket launcher and this machine gun. Alistar, tanky support. Olaf is a beacon that with his ultimate you can't stun him, so it's going to be an unstoppable force. Gragas has some damage but also is quite tanky and can be built in both ways, so it's a versatile jungler. Jax stacks attack speed every time he attacks, so in a long fight it's going to be dangerous and in the late game can be a very powerful carry. Malphite is a super strong tank with a super strong ultimate. He smashes onto the enemy team and knocks up everyone. Shyvana can transform into dragon and has some changes prepared, especially for Wild Rift, that are very good. Aurelion is a very special control mage. He can move around with his stars. It's a very peculiar way of champion. Orianna can destroy a teamfight with a shockwave with the ball. Then Fizz is a slippery target, literally. It's very difficult to catch a good Fizz, is an assassin. Then we have Ashe, is a basic AD carry that can slow their enemies and also standing with her ultimate, and if you are starting in the game, is the AD carry to go. Tryndamere has an ultimate that renders him immortal for a few seconds and is very powerful with basic attacks. Twisted Fate can use his cards to stun you or slow you and also deal damage from a distance, but his signature is his ultimate, where he can teleport everywhere in the map. Then we have Bane, that is very powerful with basic attacks and attack speed, because she has a passive now turned into semi-active that allows her to deal damage based on your percentage of health and is true damage, so it's very powerful against tanks and in the late game. Xinsao is very good jungler for starting invading and also has a very good 1v1 potential mainly in the early and the mid game. Set an assassin that can obliterate your team if he can get a lead and an opportunity. Then we have Yasuo. Love him or hate him. He's a champion hated by lots of the community, but also loved by other lot of people. So pick your side with this samurai that is, let's say, not letting anyone indifferent. And then lastly we have Thix that throws bombs and is very fun with the poking and the damage from a distance. Here the people from Riot are telling us that they mainly want to be able to make champions adaptable, to make champions feel natural in the Wild Rift, so they have to make some small changes for some of them. For example, here we can see Lux that her ultimate has infinite range. We can see here the targeting system. We are taking a look at it in a few seconds, and some curious changes for champions. For example, Nexus now charges his Q faster. This allows him in the shorter game of the Wild Rift able to make a huge difference with the charge. If he charges at the same speed that he charges in the normal League of Legends, he will be a very bad champion. Twisted Fate has his E that was a passive. Now it also has the effect of augmenting his attack speed for a few seconds. This allows him to make some other builds that could be very fun. Then there are other champions, like for example Miss Fortune, that her Q has been transformed into an ability shot, and you are going to see here that the normal Miss Fortune couldn't have hit this Q, but as it's an ability shot, you can throw it into the brush, seeing nothing. Janna has no changes, well, you know, some stats and that kind of stuff, but no mechanical changes with normal PC League of Legends. Then you can see the targeting system. We are making more focus on it later, and Shyvana has, as I told you, the best changes. Now, instead of just getting armor and magic resist, when she kills a dragon, well, she or her team, she gets additional effects. For example, with a fire dragon and a scorch enemy, an enemy affected by your fire takes additional true damage. That is super strong. I mean, it's super cool what they have done with Shyvana. And then with the Mountain Drake, once you use your Q in dragon form, you slow your enemies. The Q is the empower basic attack that in dragon form affects everyone in front of you. This Shyvana chain is super fun. As I was telling you, the changes are made in one hand to modernize some things a bit, but mainly to make the champions able to be played with these dual controls. And talking about the interface, well, we can see here a lot of stuff. Here we see the stick, the left joystick. You are going to move with that. With this button you are being able to recall. That allows you to shop in the base, because in other mobile MOBAs you can shop everywhere. In League of Legends you only can shop in base, and I think it's cool they kept that, because that makes the game a bit deeper. You have to choose when to back. Then this icon means that for the jungler, Shyvana is a jungler, has jungle items, and this means she gets less gold from minions. This is a penalty they made because Master Yi had a very powerful combo that allows him to farm both jungle and lanes, and well, is a solo queue game destroyer. Then we have these summoner spells, we see them in more detail later. We have this item that now is just a boot, but when you upgrade the boots, we are seeing it more deeply in the item section, we can have an active item, only one active, okay? Take that into account. Then we have our basic abilities. We have the Q, what in normal PC League of Legends will be Q, W, E, and R. Take into account, instead of having 5 levels per ability, we have only 4 levels, and you get your ultimate at level 5 instead of level 6. So these are important changes from the regular PC League. Also, you get a maximum 15 level, not 18. Here you have your war that allows you to use the trinket, because yeah, we will have other trinkets beside this war. You can place it in a place, just drag it, we'll see it later, and with that you can, as you can see here, get vision of the area. You see, this war allows you to see where it is, as an ally champion was standing just right here for its duration. Then we have 2 more icons in the targeting, and the targeting is very curious, and we are going to see it with this thing. See here, he can choose, you can drag the auto attack button to the enemy you specifically want to target, and it has lockdown on Ashe. Nami is nearer. If you just click the right button without having target, you will attack Nami, but now you are targeting Ashe, and this is how he can kill her. Then you can choose 2 default attack modes. With this, you are prioritizing the monsters in the jungler, and with this other one, you are prioritizing the fruits, these plants that are over the map. There are 3 kinds, we'll see them later. And in the lane, you can either focus the minions or the towers. And this is, if you play that, if you touch that, it's just the smart casting. Then going to another interesting stuff. See, this is white, has a white bar. See the minions here have a red bar, but the bar turns white. It's a small detail if you are seeing on mobile, but I guess you can see it. When the bar turns white in a minion or a plant, in a plant it's always white because you wipe them down with 1 hit, it means you can instantly farm them and get the money. You aren't getting money from minions that are around you. If you want to get the maximum money, you have to farm them. Also, you can see here a dent in the life bar that shows us when the minion should die with 1 basic attack. So it's pretty useful for making farming a bit easier for mobile players. Then just let's go into the champ select screen. Here you can see a lot of stuff. It's very cool. I think they should implement this on the PC League of Legends. You have the people selecting champions, and here we can take a look at a voice and text chat. This means the T, I guess, is you could shift. Here you have a chat window, I guess it's for the text chat, and here you can see a map. You can display a map and tell people what do you want to play. Here you can mute your microphone. Here you can adjust the volume of the voice chat. But what's very interesting about this loading screen, this screen, this champion select screen, allows us to check the abilities of a champion. We can check each one of them here, and also change our runes, change our summoner spells, and this seems a button to change between some alternating sets of runes. We are taking a look at them, as I told you, in a moment. And also, we have a new skin tire here for Garen. Then we'll take a look at it, because this skin hasn't appeared in the PC League of Legends, so maybe some Wild Rift exclusive. Talking about summon spells, we have these ones. Ghost gives you a movement speed bonus. Here heals you an ally nearby champions. Barrier is self-descriptive, shield you have. Then the Exhaust allows us to decrease the speed and also offensive capabilities for sometimes of an enemy champions. Flash is super useful, just that blink is key for League of Legends mechanics. The Ignite deals damage and reduce the healing on an enemy. You can see here this heart pierced by 2 swords. This, even if it's recurred on PC League of Legends, but the symbol is very similar. We'll see them in a bit. Just check here. That's the symbol on Wild Rift. And take a look at also how it has some igniting particles that, well, we can see them very well because it's a messy teamfight, but he has these igniting particles. And then this Might, that is a summon spell that allows you to deal damage to monster in the jungler and is key for securing jungle objectives as Dragon, Herald and Baron. That we will talk about later. Also, you can upgrade your Smite once you have complete 4 big campaments in the jungle. But going into other stuff, the runes. The rune system is, you have 8 K runes. Okay, you can see this rune, the Aerie is a K rune, and you can choose one from those 8. These runes all have been or are in current league. In fact, all of them are in PC League, except for this rune, the Font of Life, that is as a minor rune, but here they upgraded it to a Keystone rune. But the Kleptomancy disappeared from regular league, but was brought back for Wild Rift. Another thing, you can see here 3 tiers. One oriented towards damage, then another one oriented towards defense, and this one inspiration oriented towards utility. For example, we have some new runes here. This Mastermind makes you able to deal a 10% bonus through damage to epic monsters and turrets and gives you extra gold and XP upon taking or assisting in taking these objectives. So for a jungler, this is amazing. This Hunter Genius gives you cooldown reductions every time you kill or assist in the killing of a champion for the first time for each one of the 5 enemy champions. This Sweet Tooth makes you heal more with the honey fruits and also gives you gold each time you eat a honey fruit. Pack Hunter gives you movement speed and also gives you and your allies extra gold when you are together and make a takedown, and the Mana Flow Bank that allows you to increase your maximum mana. Here we can see the Sweet Tooth rune being used by this Jin. You can see the healing is quite substantial and also he gets 20 gold per fruit. And another difference with regular league, there are less fruits but they seem to heal more. Then going into the defensive side, we have a Spirit Walker that gives you max heal and slow resistance. This other one that gives you less max heal, but with every unique takedown you get more heal and tenacity. It's like the scaling version of the Spirit Walker. Loyalty gives you armor and magic resist and also to the closest ally. Then the regeneration regens every 3 seconds. Life or mana depending on which one is lower. So if you plan to stay lane for long periods, this one is the way to go. I think top laners are going to use it quite a bit. And maybe some mid laners as well, but maybe mostly top laner. Then going into the Wild Rift. The Wild Rift is very peculiar in the sense that it doesn't have inhibitors. The turrets in the inhibitor zone double as inhibitors, and also the Nexus hasn't turrets. You can see the map is slightly smaller than regular league map, and this is a very key functionality. Well, as you are seeing here, this game is mirror. The team on the blue side of what will be like PC League of Legends starts having the battle lane in the upside and the dragon lane in the bot side. But what happens to the other team? They have the battle lane in the bot side and they have the dragon lane on the top side. As you can see, these two teams are playing the exact same game. They are on the exact same match, but this is the perspective from the blue and from the red team. You have a mirror map, but the functionality, as I was telling you, is the same as in regular League. Then going into the jungler, now the red Bumbleback evolves and the red buff is going to give you more damage in the late game. In the blue buff, it also evolves, but is also giving you HP regen. In PC League, it gives you cooldown reduction and mana regeneration. Here is mana and life regen. And the upgrade version gives you more powerful buffs, so they are more useful in the late game. Because something that happens in regular League is that buffs usually are way more important early on. This way they want to make sure the buffs keeps their importance through the game. The Sky's Bloom allows you to, in a cone, opposite to the direction in which you hit it, see everything. You can see enemy wards in order to disable them, you can see enemy champions hiding, everything can be seen. This honey fruit, as I told you, 3 instead of 5, heals you when you eat them, but briefly slows you. Why does it slows you? So you have a mini penalty for having this health, and also gives room to some curious strategies in fights. And the blast cone that, well, hit it and everything goes jumping into the air. Okay, is very easy. Then the Nexus, as I told you, has no turrets, is strong and independent and can defend itself on its own. And the dragons. We have the 4th elemental dragons of League of Legends PC. We have the water, the wind, the fire, infernal, or the mountain. But here we don't have the elder dragon of PC League. We have 4 elemental elder dragons that are going to give us bigger version of the elemental dragon buffs. And what does this mean? Maybe for regular League of Legends, or should I call PC more than regular, because I'm sure in 2-3 years this is going to become the default League of Legends. This means that in the PC version we are going to see dragons revamp as so. I will think that there is a very big possibility. Personally, I think this can lead to some really interesting strategies, and let's see if they keep up with the elemental rifts, or in Wild Rift we don't have changes to the map. Then in the warding area, as you can see, you can place your ward here and take a look at this icon. When this icon is over you, it means that enemy champions are not seeing you. Okay? And then, well, this beautiful perspective from the Wild Rift from above. As you can see, a smaller map than PC League of Legends, but does not mean smaller fun. They want to keep everything from League of Legends. And when I say everything, is every single experience. The team fights, the laning phase, the 1v1s, but instead of having 35 long matches with quite long starting times, they want to keep it as condensed as possible. They want you to be able to play a League of Legends match fast. The laning phase, for example, takes 3 to 5 minutes at most, when in normal League of Legends is between 5 and 8, lingering more towards the 8. And also you will have here a lot of depth. It's going to be easier to play than PC League, but they want it to be as hard as PC League to master. And here, talking about the smite, once you take 4 major jungle camps, you can see this recharging. Major jungle camps, I'm betting they are referring to the buffs, and you can choose between the red and the blue smite. The blue smite is quite simple, you can throw it on an enemy champion and the champion is slow. The red smite, you can also throw it on an enemy champion, but in that case, what happens is the champion receives extra damage from you and also deals less damage to you, but it's not slowed, so depends on the utility you want. Against monsters, the smite is going to be the same. Here you can see the damage the smite will do to monsters. Then jumping on other stuff, the shop. Wow, and the shop is a very big topic. The items are getting a revamp, but most stuff is very similar. Here you can see these buttons in the shop, okay? These buttons are a button to open the shop and buy whatever you want, and a quick buy button, so you can in a second buy the stuff very fast and just get out and keep on fighting. I would love this being implemented on PC League as well. This will be super cool. Talking about the items themselves, there are new items and items that have been, as I told you, revamped. For example, the Blaze of the Ruin King no longer has its active, but has a passive that hitting the same champion 3 times with attacks or abilities deals a bit of damage and steals movement speed. So it's quite the same functionality, yeah, still movement speed, deal a bit of damage, and the percent heal passive is the same. So you can see no active, but same functionality for the item. Then talking about other items, you can see over here on the shop, you can see, for example, the Runan is going to be the same. We have this item that allows us to reduce the cooldown on our ultimate, very cool, and these books that are going to be the regular AP book, but with a sleeve twice. And also having this 500 gold book allows to buy the unnecessarily large rod much more easily, not having to save up so much money and then wait for the item. And the Rabadon is going to be the item to go if you want to have a lot of ability power. Here, well, you can see an Annie making good use of her Rabadon. Triforce is basically the same, but with a much more cooler icon, just dealing tons of damage with that Triforce. And then we have a new item, Great Winter, that is a tier item for tanks. Tear of the Goddess is an item that allows you to recharge your mana and augment your maximum mana, gives you regeneration and maximum mana augmentation every time you cast a spell. And there are 2 items in PC League, one that is the Muramana, that improves your attack damage based on your maximum mana, and you have the Archangel Scepter that improves your ability power based on your maximum mana. I'm betting this one is going to improve your health based on your maximum mana. And when you hit an enemy with an ability, when you CC, when you crowd control an enemy, you gain this shield that you are seeing Gragas gets here, fighting that main. Then, active items. You can only have one active item, but they work in a different way. You can choose any boot you want, like in regular league, same boots, but what happens here? You have a tier 3 upgrade of the boot, that is the active item. And take this in mind, the Gargoyle, the Redemption, the Quicksilver, no one is going to give you the stats. As you can see here, you only get the active. Improving your boots gives the active, not the stone plate stats, only the active. This allows to a bit more diverse combination, as we can see here. You wouldn't see a normal Ash with Thonias, but as you can take only the active, is a feasible build. Then, well, he tells us about this quick buy buttons a bit more, and as they have been telling us for all the gameplay, they want the same feel as in League of Legends. They want you to feel you can have mastery, you can be a good player if you practice the game. And another thing to take into account, see these helmets? You get one popping off your head every time you get a kill, to signal you have made a lot of kills. Jumping into client stuff. Well, here we can see game modes. We can see the normal, here is blind pick, this is a draft mode, and yes, there will be obviously ranks the moment the alpha launches. Then going with cooperative with AI and tutorials, here we can see a progression for a tutorial that gives us a hostage chest. So the hostage system is very probably going to be on the final Wild Rift version. This also is very good, having blue essence every time you complete a step of the tutorial. This is super good. I mean, I really love this because allows us to get something while we are getting the grabs into the game. It isn't just only, well, I'm losing my time, these tutorials. No, you have a small incentive and then the hostage chest on the end. Then the ranks, well, the ranks. They told us that in regular PC League, they were going to suppress division promos, but keep the promos between tiers. Since Wild Rift is going on the same path, you can see here 3 dents or 3 gems. These 3 gems, they are going to signal if you won or lost a promo match. Here, the guy or the girl won 3, so it's going to be upgraded into gold. And here we can see a bar down here that is progressing, this bar. I'm going to remove my camera for a quiet bit. You can see here this bar. And what seems is that if this bar goes to 0, you are dropping, and if it goes to the maximum, you are going to get a new division. You are going to gold 3 in this case. Also shows us that you can start in the middle of the tier, so you have some capacity to move up and down. And also, no 100 LP per tier. It's 600, it seems. These 4 dents we have here, these 4 gems, I think they are going to be kept as decorative, since I believe promos are a nonsense for a Wild Rift games. Then, talking about skins, well, we can see some skins here. Also take into account, besides from those we saw here, others were also shown previously, like for example, the Thunder Thread or the High Noon Yasuo. The model for monetization is going to be the same as in regular PC League, okay? It's going to be the exact same monetization model. This, we can see the Ari Dynasty Ari over here. Then we have the Arcade Blitzcrank. This skin is super cool with the right hand, and I think the animations are super well done. The Demon Bite, another great skin. I mean, most skins are super cool, not gonna lie. Altochemy Ray, the Agency South. This is a quite basic skin, honestly. As this one that was a bit of a bad skin, the Cowgirl Misfortune, but in Wild Rift seems way cooler. Also, Glacial Malphite is shining here. I mean, it's shining. It's a cool skin, but here it's shining. Well, as well shines the Arc Light Bane. Really love the animation, but if I had to love one, this one. I mean, the High Noon Jin, wow, is super. It's just perfect. I mean, that skin is super cool. Talking about more stuff. Alpha dates, beta dates. Alphas, if you want to see the compatibility with your device in case you are in Brazil or in the Philippines, or do the tricks I show you in the video below and have luck, because you have to have luck in order for that to function, it's going to launch in Brazil this Friday at 6 in the afternoon local time. In the Philippines, the 6 at 6 of the afternoon local time. But they are going to start, they are going to finish, sorry, the 26th in Brazil, the 27th in the Philippines. For the first days, for the first 4 days, in fact, it's going to be super limited, and it's only going to be available for some hours. So it's going, as I told you, to be a very limited test. Once they are amping up server capacity, they will add more players and also increase the number of player hours. About beta, I will bet that we have a beta, the beta bet, for middle July, and then we can see two scenarios. Either they go for smaller markets and try to launch a game like, for example, in Turkey or in the Northern European server, or maybe we can have a bit more luck and have it on a big server like Europe or NA. Don't know, but that's the bet. In any case, I think it should have a bigger beta, more ambitious beta for September or so. I will expect it, at least or at latest, a big beta in Europe and or NA. It makes sense if they want to launch the game by end of 2020. And well, I think that's everything for today. We have seen targeting, we have seen the passives you have here stacking, the actives, the interface, the skins, the champions, everything we saw here, we can show them. Nothing more on my side. As I told you, thank you very much if you subscribe, and see you on the Wild Rift. Bye bye!